It's not too often a sled comes along that has so much new stuff going on, there literally isn't enough time in a standard SnowTrax test ride to cover it all. The AXYS is a 100% new design built from 97% new parts. So unfortunately, I just can't cover all the cool new features and changes Polaris has made to this platform. So today, I'm going to focus on what I think are the 4 most important attributes of this sled: ergonomics, ride, power, and handling. Polaris released 2 versions of the AXYS this season, the Pro X and the Pro S. I've spent considerable time on both, and I found, without question, the Pro S is the sled for me. And since I like premium gadgets and cool graphics, I requested the 60th Anniversary Edition. The 60th Anniversary Edition includes a painted tunnel and rails, custom graphics, a small seat bag, and Polaris's new LCD gauge package with GPS and Bluetooth built in. To say this is a cool piece of technology wouldn't even come close to covering it. This is the coolest new piece of technology ever found on a snowmobile. But you'll have to read about that one online. It's time for us to dig a little deeper into this sled, and we're going to start with something every person who's ridden it, even guys loyal to other brands, have unanimously agreed is absolutely excellent: ergonomics. This sled just fits. It's that simple. From the first second you climb over its tallish seat, everything just feels like it is where it should be. Foot placement is natural and comfortable, and when you reach for the handlebars, they're exactly where you thought they would be. The seat is wide at the back and narrow up front. This excellent combination allows for comfortable cruising with your butt farther back, but when you move forward into a more aggressive position, it also makes for easy side-to-side transitions in the twisties. So we've established it's an ergonomic dream come true, but what about the ride? Polaris's AXYS has some stiff competition with Skidoo's R-Motion. The question is, how does this thing stack up? A new aluminum crank replaces the old steel unit and saves huge weight. A redesigned suspension geometry makes the sled more forgiving for a wider range of riders, and a sweet piggyback Walker Evans shock sits out in the open where it's ultra easy to access. With the springs set correctly for the rider's weight and all the clickers set to nearly full soft, the rush ride's amazing. We already know its variable caster front end is near IFS perfection, and we feel it finally has an adequate partner with the AXYS rear. It's only on the biggest, sharpest hits that the rear end seems to get overwhelmed. Its rising rate action helps soften the impact, but it just doesn't feel as composed as the R-Motion on the biggest of hits. To say Polaris's new Cleanfire 800 HO mill has changed the game doesn't even come close to the truth. The game's over. There is no competition. This is the sickest 800 we've ever pulled the trigger on. Its lightweight crank allows the engine to rev almost instantaneously, and a substantial increase in horsepower results in behemoth torque and rocket ship top end. An electronic oil pump offers light throttle pull and excellent oil economy, as well as overall cleaner operation. And finally, a more direct intake track allows the engine to breathe more efficiently. I can't emphasize this enough. These changes result in the most overachieving 800 we've ever ridden. Every single person who takes a spin on this sled says exactly the same thing. This motor is sick, in a good way. Finally, let's talk about the most impressive attribute of the new AXYS Pro S chassis: handling. All the ergonomic goodness, smooth ride, and awesome power in the world mean nothing if the sled won't go around a corner. But not to fear, this one does, like it's on rails. Motor mounts have been integrated right into the engine cases this season. This means the motor can be mounted as low as physically possible inside the chassis, which dramatically improves the overall CG of the sled. The riding position has also been moved further forward, so mass centralization is greatly improved and more of the rider's weight is over the front arm of the skid and over the skis. At the end of the day, you're left with a sled that corners incredibly flat, is entirely precise, and yet still maintains excellent precision and stability in all conditions. Where others boast precision at the expense of stability, The AXYS offers both. I don't think there's ever been a sled I've been able to ride as fast as this one on the trail. Turn-in is precise, bite is positive with the slightest hint of understeer, which actually helps keep the skis on the ground, and the chassis is completely predictable all through the corner, especially when transitioning from corner to corner in tighter situations. Unfortunately, there just isn't enough time for me to go over all the things I like about this sled and tell you all about its technological attributes, so I'll just end by saying this. The AXYS Pro S Rush is the most impressive new sled introduction in many years. It's exceeded all of our expectations, and it's now the lightest 800 in its class. Not bad for a sled's first year in production, don't you think?
If you like this video, post a comment and tell us what you think. Then click on this link to subscribe to SnowTrax TV here on the YouTube channel.